Keep your spine straight, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in, hold it there. Om. Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Yovantah Pravishya Mama Vacham Imam Prasuptam Sanjeevayatyakhila Shakti Dharasvadhamna अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् ॐ समचरण सरोज सान्द्रनीलाम्बुदाभम् जघननिहितपाणिम् खण्डनं मण्डनानाम् तरुणतुलसीमाला कन्धरं कञ्जनेत्रं सदयधवलहासं विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि. Pranams to the Lord. Pranams to all the Mahatmas in tonight's Eknathi Bhagawat session. Yesterday we have seen from the chapter 1 up till OV number 145. We continue from there. 146. The faith of the good mind of Brahmadev was really wonderful because he got the realization of the self by only listening to the words of the God. Oh, the greatness of the grace of Guru. It removed all the doubts from the mind of the Creator at one stretch. 147. The same teaching contained in the 4 verses came down the ages through the tradition of Gurus. First of all, Brahmadeva gave that teaching to his Manasputra Sri Narada, who was intelligent and devotional. Manasputra is the divine son whose existence is only on the mental plane and who is created and born by mental creative power. There are 7 sages and 4 Kumaras who are such Manasputras of the creator Brahmadev. Over here, Brahmadev means what we call as Brahmaji that create. The Marathi, when Brahmadev will come, it's Brahmaji. The one who has come from Bhagwan's Navi, that Brahmaji, not Brahman, but Brahmaji, Brahma, God Brahma. Chaturmukhi Brahma. Listening to that teaching, the sage Narada was completely satisfied, and he himself by his body became the incarnation of the contents of those 4 verses, and he began to dance in that ecstasy. The Chatushloki Bhagavat, it's regarding those, that 4 verses. 149. He held his divine veena on his shoulder, began singing in praise of the Brahman, so not Brahmadeva, so see the difference, and dancing and heaving in the very divine joy, he came down to the earth. 150. He descended below on the banks of the river Saraswati, where he saw the great sage Vyasa. He saw that Sri Vyasa was engulfed in the whirlpool of great confusion and doubt. 151. Sri Vyasa had written and compiled all the mythological books, which are full of the meaning of Vedas, but he was not having satisfaction and sense of accomplishment or peace of mind. 152. While he was sinking deep in the sea of doubt, the kind-hearted sage Narada went there near him and reassured him by advising not to fear. 153. He met Sri Vyasa privately alone and making him concentrate his mind, gave him 4 verses, which are having the power to snap the chains of worldly life. 154. He gave Sri Vyasa the key to the spiritual understanding so secretly that the sun did not see it, the sky did not hear of it, nor human ears could listen to it all. 155. By this advice of Sri Narad, the doubts of Sri Vyasa were removed and he was inwardly at peace and very happy. 156. Afterwards, Sri Vyasa taught Srimad Bhagavat to Sri Shuka, thus fulfilling the self-knowledge by that action. Mythological books are having 5 subjects, which are discussed or dealt with in them. However, Sri Bhagavat is having 10 subjects, and therefore it is called a greater Purana. The 10 subjects are thus described: Sarga, Visarga, Sthana, Poshana, Uti, Manvantara, Ishanukathana, Nirodha, Mukti, and Ashraya. 157. This gave great joy to Sri Shuka, and he was satisfied. Not only this, he also went into a trance and remained still, his mind being absorbed into the peace of Atman. 158. Actually, the trance itself was satisfied by being the state of Shuka. Then, while one part of his consciousness was enwrapped in the trance, he went to see the king Parikshiti in order to give him the teaching of the knowledge of Brahman. 159. If we consider the spiritual strength, we have to say that Parikshiti was stronger in that respect than the king Dharmaraj, because Parikshiti had kept in bondage the very person of Kali Yuga, the Kali himself. 160. This is because the king Dharmaraja remained on this earth so long as the Lord Sri Krishna was living. But as soon as Lord Sri Krishna left this earth, Dharmaraj also left this world because he was afraid of Kali. But Parikshiti used to rule properly by keeping Kali under control, which shows that he was more courageous than the king Dharmaraj. 161. He was the offspring born from the inherited pure blood of Arjuna through his son Abhimanyu, and was a grandson of Subhadra, the sister of Lord Sri Krishna. His body was virtually a gem of spiritual power because he was protected from death, saved by the Lord Sri Krishna himself. 162. Who can measure the complete spiritual authority or power of Parikshiti, whose protection prevented the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama from entering the womb? 163. He was observing the Lord Sri Krishna, who saved him in the womb as the God who dwells in every being, and therefore he was called by that name Parikshit, the observer. See the greatness of that name. 164. So Parikshiti, the son of Abhimanyu, was born only for the purpose of uplifting the world, which is evident from the fact that through him only 3 worlds have got the fountain of the spiritual life in the form of Sri Bhagavat. 165. He had discrimination and desirelessness and had sacrificed everything for attaining the absolute Brahman. When Sri Shuka saw Parikshiti of these qualities, he was very glad. 166. The anger of Brahmins is strange. By giving curse to Parikshiti, he has actually provoked him to gain the knowledge of Brahman and made him worthy of it. Now I offer my salutations, full of devotion, to the feet of such Brahmins with my body, speech, and mind. 167. Brahmins are greater than Brahman itself. What should I talk more about this? Let it be sufficient to say that the Lord Vishnu still uses the mark of the kick of Bhrigu as a decorative piece of his chest. 168. My statement that Brahman is God of Brahman also has been proved to be true. The Lord Narayana has taken birth as Veda and become manifest through the Brahmins only. 169. So, Brahmins are the gods of the earth. They are the limbs of Parabrahman, and therefore, those who do not worship Brahmins are really reckless and pitiable. 170. Strange is the power of Brahmins. They have compelled the Lord to obey them. See, when consecrating any image, it is charged with the power of God by the recital of mantras by Brahmins. 171. Listening to the talk of Eknath, the saint said, "Oh, what can we say? Whatever prayers you make in your devotion, you are bringing out new maxims every time in regard to literature and expertise." 172. You have paid similar respect to Ganapati and Saraswati by giving this god and goddess the quality of Brahman, and in describing the greatness of saints, you have expressed their unity through your words of praise. 173. Then, in the description of your family lineage and your family goddess, you have told the story of Parshuram, listening to which mind forgot all the worries totally. 174. The reverence you have about the saints is the same as you have towards Brahmins, and you have pleased the Guru by praise. So your speech is really blessed. 175. As soon as you began to speak, we recognized by signs that it is the Guru Janardana who is himself talking through your mouth. 176. You have become overwhelmed by emotion and love, but you have to be firm and control it to enable you to tell the story further. 177. Eknath says, I had really forgotten this fact. It is good that you have reminded me. It is because of this that I have put complete faith at your feet. 178. I request you that you may please make a good wherever there is some lacunae, and by making the book a great success, kindly give me a good name and recognition by the saints. 179. The saint said, Wonderful, wonderful. You are right. Oh, the support of all poets. In order that the book should be understood with reference to context, start a commentary on the original Sanskrit. 180. Eknath says, Yes, yes, I've kept in my mind great devotion to your assuring talk, and I have laid myself low at your feet. Now, please see, according to your orders, and beginning the introduction. 181. Eknath begins to tell the story. In the forest by name Naimisha, Suta, the mythological storyteller, is telling Shaunaka and others the background of the story of the 11th skandha as follows. 182. In the last skandha, which is the 10th skandha, the story having 9 facets was told. Now in the 11th skandha, the Lord Shri Krishna is telling a story further which deals with the path of liberation. 183. This story was first told by Sri Shukla, who is the full moon in the sky of consciousness, who is the crown jewel of the knowledge of yoga, and the listener is King Parikshiti. 184. The King Parikshiti said, Oh, sir, I have given up all my possessions for this knowledge, and you have become kind enough to help me to gain it. I, therefore, say that my good fortune is having no limits. 185. Really, the story leading to liberation is vast, and those who are earnest about liberation should, putting firm foot on the head of their mind, controlling the mind, become alert to listen it. 186. They should turn their ears inward and put their minds put their mind in the ears. They should then awaken their attention and follow the sequences of the story. 187. The Lord had taken many births in many yugas, world periods, but the miracle in the birth of Sri Krishna is quite different. Oh, sirs, the adventures of Sri Hari are beyond logic. Even the gods do not understand their secret. 188. As soon as he was born, he became separate from his mother, Maya, to say in the occult sense, went away and grew by his own power. giving to Putana, etc. demons the great opportunity of total liberation while he was only a child. 189. He exhibited for his mother his universal divine form. He afforded for the cowherds the glimpse of Vaikuntha, and yet did not change his attire of the cowherd, thus keeping hidden his true form. 190. While he was only a child, he killed every formidable opponent and allowed the world witness his extraordinary feats, but did not transcend his status of a child. 191. Though he was absolute Brahman incarnate, he practiced robbery. Though he was a god, he did debauchery and showed that he was a bachelor, though he was having wives and children. 192. By using irreligion, he promoted the religion. By committing wrong action, he upheld the sanctity of good action. And by following irregularity, he followed strictly the exact moral code. 193. He used contact and attachment to bring about unattachment. By indulgence in sensual pleasures, he promoted yoga. Without actually giving up anything physically, he accomplished sacrifice which was bloodless. 194. He destroyed the difference of opinions which were caused due to stupid involvement in the outer form of action and demonstrated how freedom can be vested even in the enjoyments. This he did in order to teach the persons attached to ceremonies. 195. He put in one line the devotion, indulgence, and liberation. How can we fathom his fame? By eating dust, he demonstrated within his mouth the universal form of God. 196. I will tell you the great and purifying story of this Sri Krishna. There is no doubt that in this incarnation, self knowledge is explained in detail. 197. In the summary of the teachings contained in the 11th skanda at the beginning as well as at the end, the state of final freedom or the Atmic state itself is described either in short or at length at various places. 198. In this skanda, what Narada, the sage, told to Vasudeva based on the dialogue between the king Nimi and the son of Jayanti, known as Jayanta, is the short version of that teaching. 199. As the Lord Shri Krishna loved Uddhava very deeply, he gave him all the knowledge by giving various examples. This teaching is the detailed version of self-knowledge. 200. Earlier in the 10th skanda, Shri Krishna has indicated preventive actions required to be done, nirodhana, to protect religion, actually killing the irreligious persons and relieving the earth of their burden. 201. Sri Shuka is telling the summary of the earlier story how the Lord Sri Krishna took birth in order to redress the troubles of the earth caused by the burden of bad elements. 202. And how he killed all the demons and Danavas as well as the evil kings who were burdened to earth. Shri Badarayaniruvacha Krutva Daityavadhan Krishnaha Saramo Yadubhervritaha Bhuvovatarayad Bharam Javishtham Janayan Kalim. Meaning of verse, Shri Shuka, son of Vyasa, that is Badarayana, began again. Attended by Balarama and surrounded by the Yadavas, Shri Krishna, having destroyed the demons and creating violent discord, enmity between the Pandavas and Kauravas, relieved the earth of her burden. This is the first verse. 203. The Lord Shri Krishna, who was himself absolute Brahman in person, accompanied by very powerful Balaram, who was expert in amusement and entertainment for others, took the help of brave Yadavas and killed demons. 204. In the case of those who were not easy to be killed by Yadavas, Shri Krishna so arranged that they themselves stood against each other as enemies. Example, against friends, brothers, against brothers, relatives, against relatives, etc. I think we can stop over here. And for that next second mantra, we can follow it tomorrow. Okay. Anybody wants to express their thoughts? Somehow, slowly the clarity is building up, right? The first day was like wiping off. Second day, we were holding little grounds. The third day, okay, something. And now today. So as the story would go, we'll be very comfortable with this most beautiful scripture. And the way he has his own style of expressing each of that element, that idea, and how he has put forth in just few OVs about Krishna is amazing. And what he portrays of the Lord, that's also very amazing, I felt. And yes, we have covered the first shloka today. Anybody has any thoughts, any suggestions, anything to say? So then tomorrow we continue from 205 and then we see. And then next week, probably we'll have someone read it. And if you're not able to read the verse, doesn't matter. In the Sanskrit portion, I can chip in for you. So with his kripa, let's stop off this at this juncture today. Continue. Om Purnamadas Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Hari Om, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you, Shraddha.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari
Om. Thank you.